I woke up today, Monday morning, perfect, and I was great for a moment, and then some form of energy just swapped over me, and then I realized what the issue was. Do you know that exactly 1 year from now, it will be voting season again? And that thought was enough to scare me. And do you know why? I realized one thing. Nigerians unfortunately respect money more than they respect character and the ability to make changes. We all sit here, and for the last 4 years, and before 4 years, for the last 12 years, we have been screaming for reform. We have been screaming for a better Nigeria. We have been screaming for changes to be made. And yet, when it comes time to actually select leaders that will help push Nigeria into a better frame, we fail each time. And the people in power are very aware of this. That is why they struggle very hard to keep the economy poor, because they know that people do not respect credibility, but they respect money. So when the time comes, it is easy to put money here and there and entice you with a bag of rice. And it pains me to say how cheaply we sell our dignity, how cheaply we sell our right to live, how cheaply we sell our ability to speak for something that is momentarily. You see, one ability I have, which I have always commended myself on, is the ability to think further, think for the future. It's not always about right now. It's not always about what's the gain I can achieve right now. Because if you think for just today, you will never create structure for tomorrow. And I love the ability I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of successful friends. Now, I have the power to look into those set of people and say bullshit. I can look, if you do not have credibility, if you do not have dignity, if you do not have good discernment, I do not want to be involved with you. Now, a lot of people will stick around people with bad character because they say, oh, I might profit something from them, or if I just stay silent. I am not one of those silent people. I would bash you if I have to bash you, because at the end of the day, what makes you a great human being is your personality, your character, your values, not your pocket. A lot of people confuse the money people have in their pocket as theirs. I do not make that confusion ever. So when 2027 comes, you guys, please remember the pain you went through for the last 12 years and the more pain you went through in the last 4 years. Do not forget how you struggled. Do not forget how you had kids that you couldn't send to schools. Do not forget how a lot of you were unsafe in your states because there was nothing done to secure your state or the country. Do not forget how a lot of you couldn't get opportunities because you had to have connection to get into certain groups, even when you had the education to back you up. Do not forget how much money you spent on petrol just to get from one point to the other. Do not forget how your monthly expenditure went from 0 to 10,000 in these 4 years. Do not forget how you couldn't even pay for regular electricity because they increased some people to band A and the prices went high. Do not forget these things. APC speaks about renewed hope, but we didn't even give you. You took 4 years, 4 good years. People were born in these 4 years. People passed away in these 4 years. People struggled in hardship in these 4 years. You took 4 years, and all you did was focus on you. To be a true leader, you have to put sometimes your own personal gains aside and focus on the masses. At the end of the day, the money you guys spend comes from the masses. Yet you do this in front of us. You give us crumbs. You sprinkle salt on top of it and you tell us you want renewed hope. What hope? If you couldn't fix the economy in 4 years, you have no business trying to sit on that chair. And I want people to remember this. We have to start learning to judge people for who they are and not what you might be able to come close to gaining from them. A lot of people mocked Peter Obi recently because he went into the market and was bargaining. And they said, oh, if it was APC, they would have just bought the whole thing. But that is also false advertising. Nigerians are used to massive displays of wealth. So, of course, in their minds, someone who comes to buy up a whole store has more value than the one who comes to price. But these are things that would not last long term. Me displaying I am a great person just for one moment and I cannot keep up with it doesn't show I'm a person of value. And this is where Nigerians have to constantly remember what they have been through. You have to feel it in your bones and remember what you have been through. I rather someone like Peter Obi who would say, listen, this is where we are. Let's work together and try to fix the country, instead of throwing and pretending that, oh my God, everyone is just magically going to gain. It doesn't work like that. It's going to take a lot of manpower to actually restructure our society. It might take some time for things to start working the way they should, but anyone who is just throwing money on it and giving you this false idea that, oh, once we come back, everything is going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. Because if it could have been perfect, it would have been done in the last 4 years. I can't lie. 4 years ago, I was a Peter Obi fan, and I still have hope in the ability that he can change. My only problem is it is very important to be righteous. It is very important to be diplomatic as a leader, right? But sometimes you have to know when to bring out your spikes. You have to know when to get angry. You have to know when to say enough is enough. You have to know when to say, man, listen, we ride in the streets. And this, I don't know if we would have been going through all this hardship if when the elections did not go the way people expected it to go, if they had just gone out in the streets, protested. But Peter Obi had told us to stay calm. You see, we lost momentum that period. And a great leader needs to know when to be diplomatic and needs to know when to shout. And there is still time for that change to be made. But we cannot just stay silent and let ourselves be oppressed and say, oh no, we're God-fearing people. No, you need to know when to attack in a diplomatic way also. Left to me, I will vote for if the guy was contesting the governor of Abia, now that one I will vote for, because we have seen consistent change over a period of time. We see the change, but unfortunately, he's not part of them right now. We want leaders who care more about our country than flying outside. We need present leaders to take care of this country, to reform this country, to fix this country. You already see what INEC is doing. They're asking for 800 and something billion naira. For what? Remember, this money is coming from your pockets. Remember this. To do what? What are you guys trying to achieve that you need that much? In fact, in the last 4 years, I have never heard billions mentioned as much as in this last 4 years. And still till today, we have not seen one valuable thing that these people have done. Not one. Remember that. Remember that. Remember that most of you this weekend and last week were busy sleeping and relaxing and enjoying your lives while other people were killed. Remember that. Because this mentality of, God, it is not my portion, it will not happen to me, or it will happen to you if we do not work on changing the system. Your life is not more valuable than the ones that were lost, that lost their homes, that were burnt, that were shot. Your life is not more important than theirs. So if we cannot fight for them, we don't stand for anything. If you don't believe in anything, you will fall for everything. They keep the nation uneducated. They keep the people in poverty. So in the end, their wealth will be more valuable to you than anything. Remember, to show that you're a true leader, it's not only when election time comes for you to scream out and say, oh, vote for me and I'll do this and I'll do that. We should have been seeing all these different contestants. We should have been seeing what they're doing positively for the country before now. How are we supposed to trust any one of you if you only come out when election time comes? Please remember how many times your family went hungry this year or last year or 4 years ago. Please remember how much pain you have been through. Please remember everything, how much money you have lost in these years instead of investing. Please remember that and think very wisely when it